Mr. Modi, you tweeted right away that you were glad to see Justice Mudgal's report today and confirms everything that you had been saying about the way the IPL has been functioning. Elaborate on that. Do you believe today that Mr. Srinivasan has to step down after this report?
I think Mr. Srinivasan has to step down without any doubt. It's his moral responsibility. It has happened while at his watch. And secondly, it's his son-in-law. And we all know as a fact that nothing in the BCCI, in the IPL, in the Champions League, or in the ICC work without him having a direct say in it. Every department, every person, every decision is taken by his office and by him. Every department has a head which directly reports to him. All members of the IPL, BCCI, now even ICC are part of India Cements. So Mr. Srinivasan knows exactly what is happening. He has always known what is happening. And so for him to now say, to stand aside is not the question. He has to take the moral responsibility. If he doesn't, he should be sacked unceremoniously without any question.
Who's going to sack him? Lalit Modi, you know how the cricket fraternity functions in this country, and you know he's dug his heels in before. There are many today who are saying he's going to continue to dig his heels in, that this doesn't actually bother him. So you don't buy the argument of guilty by association. You think that's rubbish?
No, I think by the main issue is that if what you're saying is correct and they don't take him out right now, then you might as well write off cricket and let it be WWF for all I care, because it like Rahul said, it's top down. It's not bottom up. If the administrator of the top of the pyramid himself is a person that encourages match fixing, then he's directly involved. And I say that. I take him on directly and I say he is involved. And I'm saying that from day one. And I said, if it happened in your watch, you are clearly responsible for it. And everybody who is supporting him by de facto being a rubber stamp are involved in it by the fact they are allowing this to happen. And they've taken this beautiful game and made it what it is because of the fact that they haven't stood to it, and they are guilty by association without any doubt.
No, but you say with great conviction that you believe that Mr. Srinivasan is involved, but many would say, why punish him for the deeds of his son-in-law? Would he necessarily have known? And you're convinced. You're convinced he knew.
It is very convenient. It is very convenient to put it on the son-in-law. It is the buck stops at Mr. Srinivasan, whether we like it or we don't like it. He does not allow things like this to happen in any other way. And so for me, even for a minute to believe that he did not know about it is out of the question. And for him to say he's a mere enthusiast, I mean, come on. I know how it works. I know how the BCCI works better than anybody else. I know how it works today. I know when it worked when I was there. It doesn't operate without the knowledge of Mr. Srinivasan. He's hampering investigation. He's putting his key people in place. I mean, the report clearly says the ACSU did not say anything to the committee. They were not revealing anything. They were afraid to reveal anything. There is, like Rahul said, there's not a single player in the country or in the world, as a matter of fact, who will say anything against Mr. Srinivasan, because they've all been muted either by contracts or by future contracts, or because they love the game and they'll be taken out of the game.
Who are you insinuating about?
Mr. N. Srinivasan.
No, which are the players? You're saying players have been intimidated and they're not speaking the truth? Are you talking about any particular players?
I said not a single player I'm talking not a single player is voicing his opinion. Actual opinion. Tell me one player, one ex-player that is going out and actually giving what his heart is about.
So
I don't want to put anybody into trouble, but I am in directly touch with a lot of the players.
No, so is this just the tip of the iceberg?
On the show out here.
Is this just the tip of the iceberg?
I have always said it is the tip of the iceberg. I said it is always the tip of the iceberg, Nidhi, and this is just the beginning. But if you have a person sitting on top and he's controlling the entire system, then of course he's not going to allow the probe to go forward. He is going to use the system for his own benefit. Whether we like it or we don't like it, that's the truth. Now, people don't want to hear it. That's up to them. I pointed it out. Rahul has been a great emissary of pointing this out from the day one, since as far as back as I can remember.
But on the question of the Chennai Super Kings as a team, one of the arguments that has been made on this show this evening is that the team should not be punished. It should not be thrown out of the IPL for the guilt of one man. Though the rules, I think, are pretty clear on this, that if Gurunath Meiyappan has done what he's done, the team has to go.
The rules are very clear. The team has to go. The rules were made in such a manner and it has to go they have violated the principle of owning a team. The team must be terminated. There's no two ways about it. I mean, if you can terminate for no reason and threaten to terminate for no reason other teams, I mean, this is a clear violation this is the worst kind. So there is no ambiguity in that clause. The team should be terminated by all counts.
And do you believe that there are players from the Chennai Super Kings who may be involved as well? Are you hinting at that also?
I don't want to comment on that because all I say, this is the tip of the iceberg. Let the probe go on. I think the police have a lot of information, and I'm sure they will be coming out of their own information. I don't want to preempt anything in that regard. That will dilute the investigation.
Lalit Modi, what would you say to those critics who will say that you have an axe to grind with Mr. Srinivasan and that's why you're going after him on all these weeks and days?
1 minute. I'm not going after him. The courts are going after him. What he is doing is very apparent to everybody around the world. You can see it with your own eyes. Yes, I have an axe to grind with him because what he has done to the beautiful game of cricket and what he is doing to it. And I can see the writing on the wall. He wants to be the czar of the whole world. He wants to control everything that goes into the system. Why? I'll tell you why. Because he allows fixing to happen. It is to his benefit, and I'm saying it directly. And I accuse him of fixing and allowing fixing to happen. And when he says zero tolerance, it's absolutely crap because he has all the tolerance and he allows his family to indulge in it.
Lalit Modi, what do you then make of the recommendations made by the Supreme Court appointed panel, from having an integrity committee of players like Sachin Tendulkar and Kumble and Dravid to mentor younger players, to endorsing suggestions made in the past on restrictions about access to players' rooms, agents, phone access and so on? Are these realistic? At the end of the day, Justice Mudgal says the only way there will be a deterrent in this sport is if people go to jail for this. Would you agree? It's time to send people to jail.
I agree for that. I agree with him if the people go to jail on it, but for that the laws of the country have to change. I think we have stringent laws in the UK. You've seen that happen in the UK. Unless we have stringent laws in India, it won't happen. In regard to the recommendations of the committee, I think it's very important that the IPL governing council should be disbanded, and rightly so. Members who are connected with the game should become part of it, and all members, whether it's to do with the owners, whether it's BCCI, an independent committee should be taken there to run the IPL, and the BCCI can be a beneficiary of the amounts. But let it be run like the NFL, where the owners are interested in it and all the interested parties are part of it. Let senior players be part of it, and let us have an independent organization that runs it, not out of India Cement's house in Chennai. Let it be independent, truly independent. I mean, the report, if I go page by page of the report, I've marked up the whole report. It'll take me hours to go by it. I can tell you where every one of these people has given a statement on behalf of Mr. Meiyappan is actually lying. Mr. Sundaraman to turn around and say that we don't give accreditation, we just give accreditation to owners, and has got nothing to do with the actual ownership. I don't think he's fit to be a CEO of the company. He should be fired right away. For Mr. Srinivasan, he goes to the meeting with Prasanna Kannan, very clearly show that Prasanna Kannan is an India Cements employee. He's the CFO of IPL. He was the CFO of the BCCI de facto. He writes all the checks out. He's the one who's doing everything. If you keep going down the report, line by line, you'll see. I heard on another news network, Mr. Rajiv Shukla saying that there is ambiguity in the report, that the two different reports come out. There's no ambiguity in the report. The second report that has come out, I have a question mark about that, but rather not say it.
Yeah, it's been both. There are two different reports, yes, but Justice Mudgal has endorsed the second one as well. Finally, Lalit Modi, one of the comments that has been made in that two-volume report is that corruption is alarmingly seeping into the game of cricket, but particularly into the IPL. As the former IPL chairman, doesn't that worry you? That something that you started and gave birth to is today acquiring a reputation of perhaps being the most corrupt format of the game?
I think the format of the game is not the issue. The issue is that corruption has seeped into the game. It has seeped into the game in all formats. The problem is, as I've always said, the people who fix the games, they first try to induce a player to come and fix for them. It's spot fixing. It's no longer match fixing, it's spot fixing. And if they don't get induced, then they intimidate them. So the mafia has got involved. And this has become very, very serious. Once they have got that person in their web, they use that player irrespective which form he plays or where he plays. Whether he plays in India, he plays overseas, he plays for another team overseas, and you will see a lot of that information coming out in the next few weeks of another investigation that is parallelly going on in another country. And you will see more and more of this information coming out, and I don't want to say more about it because there is lots of investigation going on into match fixing, but it has seeped into the game in all quarters, in every country, in every aspect.
Finally, Lalit Modi, when are you coming back to India?
I'm very soon. I'm waiting for the national elections, and I hope my security issues are sorted out, and I'll be there very soon.